Isn't a follow-up to the integral works of and the inner diagnostics and the modification of how basically we'd work in a free world of 39 of a 39 32 473. Some of the ins and outs of it, like for example, 13 weeks between four people give one 39 weeks backwards, 443, 7 weeks, 3 days. By 7 people give everyone 44 weeks and 4 days roughly. That's 9 months or 10 months back per annum. On the other side, so we're working and you'll get these 9-10 months, so it gives you, like, for instance, 9 months, 10 months back to your free time and career pursuit. On the other side of this, living on this in this world of the free world, it would work out that basically, like, only some people are going to get their career for 26 weeks worth of giving it for free what you want to do in the secondary service of services. All the key workers would basically still be working 26, 39 weeks per annum, still having 13 weeks or half a year off, such as nurses, firemen, policemen, managers, lecturers. These are key working services, you see. All the jobs in the key working services, like bin man, shelf stackers, this kind of work where it's key working primary service, but they're only jobs, and they're all then given back, like we're all then given back sort of like 39 weeks or sort of like 10 months back. When you were given that amount of time back and you say, well, I want to do 26 weeks worth on your own sort of like career, and you want to do, and you're doing it for free, you're going to be very still hard pressed to be able to get 26 worth of services, because just like you covering all the jobs, like the 13 weeks between four people, many hands are making light work. So then again, it'll be the same in you trying to get the amount of work, because many hands are making light work in the same secondary careers that everybody else are doing. Just like now, probably these work that you want to do now as a freelance while you're working in the job is now a side for you to make a bit of income, because you can't work full time in a career that's up as an industry that you want to get into, because they're not employing, because there's only so much work and service in that career in a monetary world. But the top 1, 3, 4% of people are basically working in that, making a success in that career and industry, right? So then, see, that gives you a readout what would happen, probably pretty much what would happen in the free world. You see, at least you've got 39 weeks, or 10 months back to yourself to do other things, and you're not stuck in a job like you are now for 48 weeks, you see. So it's the upper side of things. It's a positive side of how things should and always should be in the restoration of ways between ourselves, in the inner diagnostics and modification of how we can sort of move between each other, in working, in careers and in work, and covering all these duties that are relevant in the free world to keep. So everybody's basically got more of a life to pursue, and it's being moved around sort of like collaboratively and cooperatively between one another. This is the only way that it can work, and is really what makes the Critter Grey flow state, rather than this Carly Age monetary ebb state that we're in at the moment. We need to really get there to see how it really works, but we know this world's not working. I mean, the madness of this system is this, and tell me I'm not wrong in this. Tell me I'm wrong in this. What I'm coming from is sort of like they say, oh, capitalism is great for businesses. It opens up more jobs for the local communities. Next subject, there's not enough people covering the current vacancies. That's the madness we're living in. So then if you really want to get down to what's really needed here, don't you need to remove money in capitalism? So you just got basically back down to the first Critter based ground free world duties, what really stands here in the free world, because they're really needed. The 7 main key working services in the world that we need to be staying in, So that's for anything from agriculture, hospitalisation, care work as one of the keys, and then you could say transport, another one, housing is the third one, education is the fourth one, environment the fifth one, and then you've got engineering, art as a sixth, and seventh is what you'd really need here to be staying here, as what's needed, whether the free world that we should be in or this monetary system. These key working primary work will still be here for the locals to cover the local duties, whether their careers to some and jobs to another. And some jobs, as I say, are just jobs, such as being a bin man or being a shelf stacker, where the grey area or career to one isn't a job to another can be things like gardeners or building trades, you see, where you don't mind working longer than 13 weeks, doing 26 weeks, you know, whatever, 39, whatever you feel comfortable, where you don't feel that you're being mugged off, you see, and this is what it's all about. So everyone then gets per annum, basically the life that they want, you see, and your own prerogative, how much you want to put into it, and everything's actually being improved, where basically the governmental banking legal system is the very wedge between all of us in humanity, of the world industry services of a free world that stands between us, that stops us from actually getting together and working this out and sorting out all the problems that they've created. And we need to extinguish them as industries, the bankers, the legal law and the government, and then continue all the free world administration of all industries to see where we really stand in true reflection and improve, where basically all the improvements need to be made at ground level in all the departments and all the services keeping in the free world, you see. So yeah, you know, this is part 2 of what I was saying, and yeah, in a mods, in the diagnostics of how things can run integrally. I'll leave it there for now. All right, catch you later, folks.